Jeff, what a busy Monday it is, and how many things are happening with vCon meetup in Boston, our upcoming Dallas event in spring. I mean, we've just got so much happening at the vCon Foundation.
The vCon Foundation is on the move. That is sure. In the past week, we've gotten 3, if not 4 companies interested in joining. In fact, a couple have joined. And, outdoors right now, it might be middle of winter. We have a blizzard happening in the New York City area, but it's okay because, onward to Dallas, where hopefully there will be no blizzard other than just, people interesting or maybe having some ice cream. And that's a month from now. A month from today, we'll be kicking off our hackathon and the pre-conference events at Spring 26 voice and conversations on the net. And I'm really grateful to everyone who said yes to speaking. We have a really big agenda, lots of conversations. And that's the fun part, is that there's going to be, we're looking at that evolution, the coming together of the AI communication industry. And it's a global happening. There are folks coming in literally from all over the place to be with us in Dallas. And I'm grateful to the speakers, to the sponsors, to the developers, and really everyone who's starting to understand that this is becoming a big thing. It's almost every day I've spoken to someone new who reached out to connect with me, and I didn't realize, yes, not only do they know what vCons are, and they're into the virtualized conversations, but they're building products. And that's the cool part, is that the vCon Foundation is here to help amplify, first help educate the world what virtualized conversations are. We're embracing the emerging IETF standard. I understand that from inside sources that while in Shenzhen, which is at the upcoming IETF meeting, vCons will be spoken about, more likely later this year, the RFC will come out. And when that happens, boom, it's going to be a different world. Because if you happen to be in the communication industry, and if you were around when SIP happened, you just know how your business took off. Right. And you just understood that today it's like technologies like what we're using right now to stream live, so it's WebRTC, but SIP is sort of inside of that. And being able to be in a world where conversations don't disappear, where they become memory, archival memory, whether it's for business or for personal use, just changes everything. We're able to capture the hidden, or not so hidden, but just never used dark data that was always sitting there. And that's valuable stuff. And being able to bring together conversations and link them, whether they came across voice or texting or email or faxing, and getting into that whole, I think, redefinition of what unified communications should be. Because, for 16 years, and no offense to our friends who've been selling unified communication solutions, that's getting stuff into a company.
Right.
But once the communication is inside the company, to try to unify that, vCons are a wonderful tool to do that. And that's just to help solidify and just bring it together. And then, of course, if you want to ever export your conversations or export that knowledge, it's a whole other world. And it starts to be just like boom, because we're dealing with a world now that AI is everywhere. And while there are going to be some companies who try to forget about the fact that AI is there, the competition has it.
Right.
And if you're looking to understand insights, the cool part here is that once you have the conversations and you're now able to put it into a local AI source, whether it's a local LLM that you have or a cloud-based, doesn't matter so much. But once you have that knowledge, you can start asking questions that you never really even knew you had answers to before. And that is a game changer. And when we look at the evolution of AI, I've been, every time I talk to someone, a few things come up, like, what is a virtualized conversation? Why do I care about it? The funny part is, a good friend of mine who's Dallas-based filed a patent recently because he noticed that people in his office, what he started making policy is to record every conversation in his office, to purposely record conversations, literally like a tape recorder, hit record when you're in a meeting, so that people don't forget what was said, and then holding people accountable for what was said. And he actually had a whole idea of how to automate that and then put it into his own local AI. And when I said, wait a second, that's been done before, he said, really? I said, yeah, you should check out the work happening in AI. Yeah. He was blown away. On the positive side, he is helping us recruit students from the 4 local universities in Dallas, Frisco area to come to the hackathon. So we're hosting, the vCon Foundation is very proud to be hosting our first ever hackathon on March 23rd in Dallas. I'm giving a shout out to Dan Petrie, who offered to help organize.
Oh, awesome.
Dan is going to be there. We have a few other volunteers who are coming forward to help organize a hackathon, and some vendors, I believe, will be putting some of their product available, so their APIs will be there. And I'm also in conversations with a company I am, the not so accidental founder of Advantage, and they've offered access to their voice APIs and Navy network APIs, and there's a lot of programming happening, a lot of ideation happening on March 23rd. One thing which I just finished the first pass of the curation of the conference. We have a big event. We have over the 3 days of the conference. We have three events on March 23rd. The hackathon, a pre-conference workshop that I'm giving, aimed to senior executives about the whole thing, what vCons are about, why they matter. And so it's not a developer program because we have a hackathon going on. So this is really for the strategists and for the people looking to understand what's happening there. So that I'm doing the theory and practice side of vCons. And my friend Joe Mazzio is talking about AI in business, and he does senior level briefings at Fortune 500 companies. So he's taking his courseware and bringing that to Dallas. That's Monday. On Tuesday and Wednesday, between the 2 days, we have, I think, 7 panels. We have, I think, 11 individual talks, and we have 24 breakout sessions. And you may say, wait, that's so much content. Yes, it is. But you look at it in an industry that's emerging, there are going to be some people there focusing on regulatory stuff because they want to make sure that they're compliant.
Right,
there are going to be people there who want to do development. They want to understand what's the latest and greatest, what's happening, on the developer level. So I have developer level content. I have business developer content. Business mandated content there. So if you're building your business, trying to understand where the business plans are or where the value is, I have that. And then there's a lot of content that I put together because I'm just passionate about it. And it's like, these are the sessions that I want to see happening. And also some of my friends who've been there for the other vCon conferences, I'm giving them their own session because this way they could talk for 45 minutes as opposed to our industry perspectives will be somewhere between 15 to 18 minutes, 20 minutes on the schedule, but it kind of turns out to about 18 minutes of talking. And so, we like to talk sometimes. So the nice thing is that at the event in Frisco, we're going to have the opportunity for people to be seen, to be heard, to connect, to do business. And as much as I know there'll be people inside the sessions talking, there'll be people in the hallways meeting, and that's what it's all about. It's about building the community from the bottom up and the top down. And as you said at the top of the hour, we have a meetup coming up. The next meetup for the vCon Foundation will be on Friday, March 6th in Boston. Shout outs to the Grand Stream team, who's been really over and above the Call of Duty, bringing people together, helping us out with both the venue at the Lenox Hotel, as well as reaching out to their community to come to Boston. And that's a wonderful thing. And then we're going to have a meetup actually on March 26th in Dallas for the vCon Foundation. And breaking news, hold on to it, save your date. But if you're a member of the vCon Foundation, we're taking you to dinner on Wednesday evening, March 25th. Right. I figured for people who are hanging out for the vCon Foundation meeting the next day, we're going to do our first ever vCon Foundation dinner. But it's probably going to be pizza. If you're hungry,
I have it next door to us. You know why? Because it's a walking distance.
We have to be frugal about this. We're not becoming an organization. We're not about the glitz and the glamour, but we are about the people. And so we're gonna get together and we're gonna provide that a place for people to speak and to connect. And there has not been so much fun for me in this space in a long, long time. And we're sort of like reliving the past at the same time being present in the future. And so while yes, the event is called Spring 26 vCon, and it is about virtualized conversations and really more than a wink and a nod to the IETF emerging protocol vCon, I realized when we were at IT Expo that we're also about voice and conversations on the net. And so from a content perspective, it's all about voice. It's all about the conversations. And we're it's both honoring the past, which is the present, because let's face it, AI has made voice cool again. We're seeing a renaissance in voice because if you're a company doing any type of analytical work on using voice, you need the highest quality voice possible. So I was remembered, and I should say I keep going back to my memories of pushing for high def voice back in 2008 to 2010, because I realized why should we be mandated to have low quality voice? And so and the whole formation of Vonage happened and the rethink happened because of the fact that we could do it back in the year 2000. We could do high def voice on the internet. So for me, it's about voice being cool again, having highest quality voice, having memory and trust. Memory is going to be the vCon's, trust is the compliance angle, the leg that gives you the ability to manage that data. And whether you're using SCID or JLink or some type of PKI, you're definitely doing there, and you're being compliant. So voice is cool again, but what's sort of like what's old is new.
Right.
And what's new is the fact that we have a new generation of people speaking at this conference. This is not your typical find. We're going to find there is a diversity in the voices, which is really good, and we're very inclusive, as best as one can be. I'm, human in the loop was a term I only heard about a few months ago. I'm very happy to say that we're having at least one human in the loop.
Yes, we are. I said we need that, Jeff.
but none of the sessions are going to be driven by agentic AI objects. It's all going to be people. So they're going to be human in the loop in every session. Now, we're calling out to human in the loop as one session topic, but let me tell you, there are actual human beings in every session. Can you believe that? How crazy is that?
Well, and Jeff, I think a lot of people get so disconnected, right? Because it's between them and the screen. And what we're really doing at, Spring vCon is really putting people to people, with the idea that, this is an exchange, right, of what you're building in your industry, what you're seeing in your industry. And for the challenge that many people have is how to adopt vCon into the industry based on what I consider the limitless opportunities.
Right. And just cutting to the chase, the thing is, most people deploying chatbots, they get really upset when they realize that a goldfish has more memory. The 3 seconds of memory that a goldfish has more memories than most chatbots have. Why?
Yes.
Because they don't remember the fact that you were just there 3 seconds ago. And so they're always starting off the top. And that's so annoying. So when you can add memory and then trust into chatbots, it changes everything. Also, if you're an inbound call center and you're handling lead, or outbound call center, you're dealing with lead gen or any type of support or any type of outsourcing, it turns out vCons are a wonderful way to remember and better know the customers who are calling in, understand in real time what's happening, and be able to take proactive action. And it's it's not that in the future AI won't drive some type of objects to making calls with voices associated with it. There'll be humans probably writing the code to drive that. Eventually it'll be AI writing the code completely. But for now, anyway, there's a whole transition going on, and we're not blind to any of that. And we're going to be talking with some of the people who are literally on the cutting edge of making that happen. And you just know that, I was recently at a meeting, and back in the 80s, I think the IBM announces the PC. Right when the PC was coming out, there were things called typewriters. And there were things called word processing machines, and these were like dedicated boxes. I mean, if you could see a picture of a typewriter, like the IBM Selectric, for example, there were big, massive, nice keyboards, and you could actually change those different fonts on the typewriter. It was really cool. Or if you walked into an office, you see this huge dedicated screen for a word processor. Now, could you imagine a year and a half after the PC comes out, there's a convention where the owners of these typewriter companies and word processing companies are coming together, trying to assure each other that, there's a huge industry in front of us. We don't have to worry about our past. Our future's ahead of us, because, we're always investing in R&D, and they were completely disrupted and decimated by the advent of the PC. Now, it's not to say that we can't find some typewriters out there or dedicated word processing machines out there. They probably still exist. Certainly you can go on eBay and buy them. But the mind space is there. And, I was recently at a meeting where people who are in the call center industry, they're acting as if, all this AI stuff is adjacent to their business, but not necessarily going to change their business. And it's like, okay, we'll see what happens. But if you come to vCon, you come to Spring 26 vCon and our fall event, which will be in October 13th to the 15th, you're going to be embracing the future now. And you're going to help us drive that future together, because this is not just one company and empowering. We're all getting together. We're learning. We're teaching. We're sharing. We're going to do demos. We're going to look at state of the art and really start to understand the technology trends, the business trends, the applications that are first movers, the first applications coming out to market, and really starting to understand how this is truly going to transcend business, not just in one place, but all over the world.
Right. In all businesses, multiple industries, guys.
It is.
So that's what's happening. And this is the reason why we're actively letting you know that you can still register for vCon 2026. We are going to be in Dallas. You'd fly into Dallas Airport. We're about 30 minutes away. We do have a block at our convention that we're hosting. We have hotel rooms. We have a group rate that's cheaper than all the other hotels that are around there. So connect with us, reach out to Jeff and myself if you want to ask more questions, how to navigate that, if you're bringing more team members, what that looks like, because we want to make sure that you have everything you need in order to make that a successful week while we're in Dallas together.
Yes, and I'm grateful to everyone who's already coming and those I know who are speaking. Thank you. And now that I'm more or less wrapped up our curation of our spring event, onward to our Atlanta for our October event. So I'm going to start working on that real soon. But hey, Charlie, nice to see you.
Yes, thank you. We'll see you soon.
See you soon. And thanks for tuning in.
Hey.